So there's another question from Miss Lee Peng, right? Is there any section within your factory were you unable to digitize?
Okay, if you look at our initial map, it's generally most of the equipment. My opinion, every equipment you are definitely able to digitize, whether being it a legacy equipment you can digitize. The question is, how deep in information can you get out? So example, in the hydraulic press, one of the reasons why we choose hydraulic press is we know to collect OE, I only need 5 points of sensor. That is when we start the on-off, CNC on-off, and then we start the 2 push button to indicate the stroke is there. That's for performance. We have a counterbalance second button for the performance, and then we have the changeover button, the booster change, and also the quality button. This 5 data is already enough to give us OEE. But if you digitize it for the purpose of predictive maintenance, big data analysis and analytics, that will be different. That will require the equipment to be able to send more detailed information, example, temperatures of the oil, temperatures of the equipment, flow rate of the oil, even ambient temperature, and things like this. So digitizing it to the OE level, I don't see an issue. But it will depend on the machine to machine basis, machine to machine, whether you can go further to actually do big data or not. So that I hope I answered your question. Not a very straightforward answer, it's still dependent on the equipment. But I guess you've got to explore. But no harm starting off with OE first. My belief is any equipment has an OE. No harm starting with that, and then from then, once you have your first experience, then you can think about going deeper. Yeah, I think Dr. Chua, you may want to add on to this. Yeah.
Yep. I think most important is always understanding your process and always understanding your system. And I think by knowing your process well and what are your key measurables, picking data from machines are not difficult. Yeah, in some circumstances, right? And with the right sensor technology, with the right understanding of how your machine behaves, then you can immediately see where to extract data from, right? And we do also have situations where some stations or some assembly lines are purely manual, right? They are purely manual. They write on pieces of paper, and it's a simple digitization would just be put a tablet maybe and just have put buttons on the tablet and just press, right? So that sort of also helps you to collect some form of data, and it's better to have something rather than nothing digitized, right? We want to avoid having pen and paper. Someone collect at the end of the day, the guy has to key in all the data in the Excel sheet the next day. Yeah, and that's sort of going to be very, very tricky. Of course, eventually, I think like what Mr. Long mentioned about predictive maintenance and all these details, having the access to your data is very, very important, right? And data integrity, knowing your system well enough will help you to make the right predictive maintenance strategy moving forward. Yeah, just sharing a few opinions from my side.
Just to add on, I think most data integrity, since Shen mentioned it, we found that was difficult. Most data needs a check and balance. So hence our CCTV, we installed it is to confirm, it is not monitoring the worker, how long he's been standing, how long he's been drinking, how long he goes to the toilet. It's not for that purpose. It's a check and balance to see that when there's a drop in the data, we can actually, because it's linked, the CCTV is linked to the node rate, it immediately be able to see the viewing of that point, what happened. So then we can actually take, we get real data rather than things that we guess and the data is corrupted. So having a check and balance system is important for me.